Good evening, Dr. Manish Pandya, sir. On behalf of the Bharat Serum Vaccine Limited, we welcomes you and all attendees here on this digital platform. The main benefit of this webinar, we all are very safe and also knowledge sharing is ongoing. Sir, you will agree that we all are facing this pandemic situation due to the COVID-19, but situation is going in positive direction gradually. Even in this situation, you as a doctor, you done your duty very fantastically with the same enthusiasm and involvement. So we a team of Bharat Serum are very proud of you, sir. You're giving your best effort on this digital COVID war ground, sir. So I in behalf of the Bharat Serum. And Dr. Manish Pandya was a director of the IVF Center. Dr. Manish Pandya have recommended 3 books by the RCOG. Dr. Manish Pandya has 3 book publication published by the JP publication. First one was step by step the gynecologist endoscopy. Second, step by step managing infertility. Step by step management of male infertility. Step by step active management of labor, alters of fetal echo, the technique of IVF made easy secondarization, the textbook of male infertility, textbook of fetal echocardiography. Postgraduate series of BI publication. The first one is a sudden fetal demise and the pregnancy and thrombocytopenia. So I once again the welcome and I hand over the session to Dr. Manish sir, who explain sir and give us some information about the RH immunization. Sir, please.
Thank you, Nishad, for kind words. Now just start sharing my screen. Is my screen visible?
Yes, sir.
It's the first
visible,
slide.
Sir.
You see?
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much, Bharat Serum, for giving me opportunity to share my views on this webinar. Okay, and these are some credentials, and you can see my all paper and presentation on this ORCID platform. This is an ORCID ID. Here you can see this is ORCID ID, and you can see all my 50 presentation and all my paper in this ORCID, and this is a very good platform. So I will advise all researchers to just put their work in ORCID so world can see what you are doing. So welcome to Bharat Serum webinar. How beautifully everything is arranged by Almighty. As soon as child enters the world, it finds mother ready to take care of it, said by Rajnishji. With the blessings of mother of mine and so many mothers to whom we had delivered, Nishant has rightly mentioned 3 books written by me is recommended by RCOG as a reading material. Atlas of Fetal Echocardiography has gone for 2nd edition. IVF Made Also Easy is also available in market as a 2nd edition, and this is available in market. I am editor-in-chief of one journal, that is Indian Journal of Obstetrics and Gynecological Research, and associate editor in Open Access Journal in Gynecology. Today we are going to discuss something regarding RH isoimmunization and what we mean by this sensitizing event. What mean by definition of RH isoimmunization? We all know that RH is coming from the rhesus monkey. RH is coming from the rhesus monkey. That is RH isoimmunization. Iso means production of immune antibodies in an individual within response to an antigen derived from another individual of the same species. What is the difference between RH incompatibility and RH isoimmunization? Incompatibility means condition where during pregnancy the mother has RH negative blood and her baby has got RH positive blood. What we mean by isoimmunization? When maternal antibody production is in response to fetal RBCs, when mother has RH negative and father is RH positive. So all this story we will hear that father is positive, mother is negative, and if baby is positive, and all this jugglery will come. If baby is negative, there is no issue. But baby is positive in utero, all this Rh isomerization, incompatibility, sensitivity issue arises. So this Rh isomerization occur in two stages. One is sensitization and one is immunization. What we mean by sensitization? It occurs due to antibody production in woman with Rh negative mother having Rh positive fetus in utero. This positive status of baby is coming from father because father is Rh positive. Immunization occurs when these Rh positive cells from Rh positive baby comes in circulation and leaks through the placental barrier and enter the bloodstream, can also occur as a result of misfed transmission. So it is not always that when pregnancy there is Rh isoimmunization. Sometimes this occur during mismatched blood transfusion also. But this is very rare incidence because nowadays pathology department is very secure. What is the pathology? When Rh positive father marries Rh negative woman, and this negative woman conceived child which is Rh positive. So Rh negative mother carrying her first Rh positive baby, Rh antigen from this developing fetus enters the mother blood during pregnancy so many times, during first trimester, second trimester, third trimester, at a time of delivery, or any procedure. When there is some placental or uterus insult, this positive cell will go into the circulation and enters the maternal circulation, and on response to that positive cell, antigen Rh antibody develops in mother. This woman becomes pregnant again. So in first pregnancy, the sensitization event starts. But what happens during second pregnancy when the woman becomes pregnant again with the same positive fetus and her Rh negative antibody cross the placenta, and they will damage this positive cell because this positive cell, according to mother, they are antigen. Against that antigen, antibody is already developed by mother. So all these red cells are getting destroyed. And we all know when these red cells are getting destroyed, lot of complication can occur in baby. So what is the basic pathophysiology? Rh negative mother and Rh positive father. This can occur with previous pregnancy, either on miscarriage or any bleeding during pregnancy. So any insult, when this positive blood cell come into this maternal circulation of negative mother, can cause antigen antibody reaction and develops Rh antibody in mother that will kill the Rh positive cell in baby. So mother antibodies are formed. Antibody recognize the Rh positive protein as a foreign and formed by mother. There are not enough antibodies to cause significant harm to the said cell, that is in the first pregnancy. But what happens in second pregnancy? A large amount of antibody enters the baby's blood, attach to red blood cell and identify them as an antigen because of the Rh positive Rh protein, and this immune system attacks the red blood cell and baby become anemic, baby become hyperbilirubinic. So what happens in first pregnancy? Same thing, positive father, negative mother, baby is positive. There are all the chance that there is chance of feto-maternal hemorrhage that occur during any stage of pregnancy, and particularly at the time of labor. The first newborn is safe because this is first event. This is sensitization event. So mother is getting sensitized with Rh positive cells. Still their antibodies are formed, but not enough to destroy the red cell of a baby. But mother Rh now sensitized with Rh antigen. What happens during second pregnancy? Same, positive father, negative mother, baby is positive. Now there is repeat encounter with Rh antigen, rapid production of IgG antibody by mother. That maternal antibody crosses the placenta. That will cross the placenta. Against that IgG antibody attached to the fetal blood cell and marks them as a destruction. So newborn hemolytic anemia is occurring. There is severe increase in bilirubin known as kernicterus. In mild cases, there is mild anemia and jaundice. So pathophysiology, same, first pregnancy, cells are there, but they are into the circulation. So they are in formation of antibody. But what happens in second pregnancy? All this antibody formed, they cross the placenta, going into the circulation of baby, destroy the positive cell of RBC in baby and baby develops, or the complications of Rh isoimmunization. So at which time there is exposure to Rh positive blood in mother? We say it is a time of delivery, either vaginal or cesarean section, in first trimester, threatened abortion or recurrent pregnancy loss, any trauma, external cephalic version nowadays we are not doing, but this is one of the potential cause. Invasive procedure, particularly we are in doing chorionic sampling and amniocentesis. Ectopic pregnancy, believe it is a small, but there is large chance of fetal-maternal hemorrhage. Molar pregnancy, APH, particularly placenta previa, abruption, vasa previa, or more in uterine rupture. Neonatal exposure, when baby comes with his Rh positive, there are transfusion, bone marrow transfusion, or needle stick injury. All this time, this positive blood exposure can occur in neonate also. So what we mean by fetal-maternal hemorrhage? Moderate to severe fetal-maternal hemorrhage occur in 0.3% in all live birth. That is common. So average volume of fetal blood cell in maternal circulation following delivery is less than 1 ml in 96% of women. But when fetal-maternal hemorrhage means by entry of fetal blood into the maternal circulation before or during delivery. When it becomes abnormal, when fetal blood loss is more than 30 ml up to 1% of pregnancy. During pregnancy, usually there is 10% chance, or at a delivery 90% chance of fetal-maternal hemorrhage. 99.3% of women has got fetal-maternal hemorrhage less than 4 ml. That usually occurs in first trimester 3%, second trimester 12%, third trimester 45%, and at a time of delivery 63% or abnormal fetal-maternal hemorrhage. Sometimes there is silent fetal-maternal hemorrhage. Nothing is found. Large amount of fetal-maternal bleeds into the severe blood occurs into the mother in severe neonatal anemia in absence of obvious maternal symptom. No trauma, no APH, no amniocentesis, no chorionic sampling, nothing. And this occurring in normally appearing placenta. There is no placental separation, no leg tuning, and occurs at any gestation, and it could be fatal. And because of this silent fetal-maternal hemorrhage, we will advise Rh-NTD injection twice during pregnancy in negative mother, irrespective of the fetal blood group, that we will discuss afterwards in question and answer session. So there are incidents of volume of fetal-maternal hemorrhage during pregnancy. We said that first trimester 6.7, that is the amount of 0.07, second trimester 13.9, 0.08, third trimester 29%, that is 0.13 ml, delivery 76. So you can see nothing is more than 1 ml or 0.1 ml. So 0.1 ml risk of sensitization is only 1%. But when it reaches to 0.5 to 1 ml, there are 25% chance of sensitization. You usually see it is less than 4 ml, but it is more than 1 ml. So 65% chance of sensitization occur at any quantum of time in a woman who is negative, husband is positive, and carrying positive baby in uterus. So these are the events usually occur in the first pregnancy, become sensitized, and second pregnancy there is isoimmunization. So prevent that, always give prophylaxis. How we know that how much fetal-maternal hemorrhage occur during that pregnancy? That is done by Rossetti test. This is to rule out the significant fetal-maternal hemorrhage. If results are positive, first test is Kenure-Betke test, that is acid elution test. This is to show by flow cytometry. It measures the amount of blood in maternal circulation. This we will discuss in next slide. But if it is greater than 2 ml of fetal blood cell in maternal circulation, we have to incubate the maternal blood sample with Rh immunoglobulins, bind with fetal Rh positive cells, addition of enzyme treated targeted indicator red cells, that is also known as aggregate or Rossetti, and that we will visualize by light microscopy. Like this, we can see this is Rossetti positive cells, and because of this, we can say that amount of fetal-maternal hemorrhage is more than 2 ml. Second test is Kenure-Betke test. This measures the amount of hemoglobin transferred into the fetus to mother bloodstream. Maternal blood is fixed on slide with ethanol 80%, that is usually we are doing, and treat with citric phosphate buffer. After staining with HNE fetal cells stained white while adult cell appear ghost-like. This is all are the fetal cells. These all are the fetal cells. And you see, Guillain-Barré test is mother of NIPT nowadays, because we know that small amount of fetal leak is always there in mother. And this is the mother of this non-invasive prenatal testing for trisomy 21. Because this is usually occurring, we can identify this fetal cell, and fetal cell has got small DNA. We can segregate this DNA, and on the DNA, we can perform the test of trisomy 21. So number of fetal cells and number of fetal cells are equivocal in mother, and we have to do the percentage. This is Guillain-Barré test usually coming in the percentage manner. So we will require prophylaxis. Why prophylaxis? Because if we don't give prophylaxis, up till discussion, we know that mother is negative, father is positive, baby is positive, first Rh positive fetus, nothing will happen. But when there is a second pregnancy, all this antibody goes into the mother and destroy the baby cells. So we can develop a hemolytic disease of newborn. It named as erythroblastosis fetalis. Baby can have severe jaundice, hydrops fetalis, or there is a kernicterus. And this sensitization occurs in 12 to 16% of patients. So believe me, there are people saying that if we had not taken NTD, but you see only 12% incidence of sensitization. So all this 80 to 86% of baby, they are even though non-sensitized, because the amount of leak may be small or maybe less than 1 ml. So postpartum prophylaxis. Rh anti-negative patients would deliver Rh positive baby either by normal delivery or by cesarean section should receive, I will say, must receive 300 microgram of NTD within 72 hours of delivery. In first pregnancy, there are no chances of incompatibility, only sensitization is there. At a time of delivery, the circulation will go, and this positive circulating cell into mother of negative, they will cause antigen antibody reaction and they will destroy the baby cell. So this NTD, what they will do, they will mask this positive cell with one layer. So this protein, this is Rh protein, which becomes antigen for mother, is not recognized by mother as an antigen. So no antigen antibody reaction. And second, third, fourth pregnancy, all are safe if mother is get prophylactic injection of NTD. So it will decrease the sensitization event by 1.5%. Previously, we are still 12 to 16% chances of sensitization are there, and they become Rh incompatibility. So prevent that from 12%, we can go up to 1.5% of sensitization. NTD prophylaxis in sensitization event. What is the utilization? We see this is a very recent topic. In 1997, Howard et al. Stated that provision of NTD immunoglobulin was suboptimal in sensitization. What they found that in second and third trimester event, less than 25% of patients in large maternity units and more than 33% of patients in small maternity units did not receive NTD because people are not aware of this sensitization event. And in India also, usually we see that there is a kote ratwa, means baby are dying inside the uterus. And if you see the blood group, that is Rh negative. In 2000, in retrospective study, women presented with emergency department prior to 12 weeks, 97 out of 120 were discharged without their Rh status. And so many times we will find in small incidents of MTP or DNE, people are not bothered to do the blood group. So it is humble request that even in small procedure, any lady, if she is negative, we have to give them the Rh NTD prophylaxis. So it is humble request that please do blood group of every pregnant lady in first visit to prevent this sensitization event. And if something untoward happen during their procurement of delivery, either abortion or she doesn't want the child, if you know the blood group status of this lady, if she is negative, husband is positive, it is advised to protect that patient, protect that newborn which is coming in subsequent pregnancy, or RH isoimmunization. In 2001, survey study said that 57% of all cases of threatened miscarriage receive NTD immunoglobulins. NTD prophylaxis and sensitizing, how it occurs. NTD immunoglobulin is given to woman to prevent her producing antibody against that Rh positive anti-cell in the blood, thus preventing development of hemolytic disease in newborn. This is our first instance. It is extracted from the plasma of donor having high circulating level of NTD, given usually intramuscularly or sometimes intravenously, that prevents sensitization during pregnancy and afterward. Development of NTD antibody usually occurs as a result of fetal-maternal hemorrhage in Rh negative woman who bears Rh positive fetus. It should be administered as soon as after the potentially sensitizing event, but usually within 72 hours, because this is the time in which antigen antibody reaction should take place. So if we prevent this event within 72 hours, it is better. Within 10 days may provide some protection. Intramuscularly, NTD based given at the deltoid muscle, and woman is already sensitized, should not be given NTD. Humble request. Those who, if you see the indirect Kumtes is positive and baby has got sensitization event and baby has got one, mother has got one IUD because of Rh sensitization, here NTD won't work at all. So don't blame NTD because mother is already sensitized. So potentially sensitizing events, if you see in woman in first trimester before 12 weeks, there are spontaneous bleeding during threatened abortion, spontaneous miscarriage, medical termination of pregnancy, surgical termination of pregnancy, ectopic pregnancy, vesicular bole, chorionic biopsy, or fetal reduction. All this event we have to provide with 50 to 150. But India, we have got only two strengths available, that is 150 and 300. So before 12 weeks, we can give 150, and after 12 weeks, we have to give 300 at least. In more than 12 weeks, amniocentesis or abruptio placenta, trauma, IUD, whenever sensitization event with placenta previa and bleeding, we have to give 10, 300. And if you see that there is an additional more fetal-maternal hemorrhage you are expecting, particularly in cases of APH, and there is large hematoma between the placenta, so calculate 10 microbial addition in the 0.5 ml. So if you are worried, you can give 300 plus 302 ampoules state at a time of a sensitization event, or within 72 hours, you can give 600 also. So this prophylaxis should be followed by abortion, because between 3 to 11% of women with threatened abortion in first trimester has got fetal-maternal hemorrhage. The fetal-maternal hemorrhage at 12 weeks is about 3 ml to 1.5 ml in fetal red cells. If you see any society, either in Canada, America, Royal College, or RENZOG in Australia, they all are advocating 120, 150 to 120, 50 to 100 and 50. But India, we have got only one strength, lower strength is 150. So all prophylaxis of abortion, negative mother should receive at least 150 microgram of NTD as a prophylaxis. Ectopic pregnancy, we see that ectopic pregnancy, we say small amount is there, but 25% of women with ruptured tubercle ectopic has got significant number of fetal RBC in their circulation, suggestion of NTD is indicated. NTD prophylaxis, again in Canadian Society, 50 microgram, American Society, 50 microgram, Royal College, 50 microgram, and recommended ectopic in Australian College is 50 microgram. India, we have to give 150 because 50 strength is not available, or some company will make 50 strength in distant future. That will be beneficial to our patients. In moral pregnancy, vesicular mole, we can say it is a hydatiform mole. It is a God first cancer and man first conquer over cancer. Always this abortion or incomplete vascular villi, we have to give NTD prophylaxis either in form of 150 to 300, depends upon the gestation in which you are providing the dilatation and evacuation. Even we had done dilatation and evacuation of 32-week big size of molar pregnancy, because patients are not aware and they come very late in hospital. In all this pregnancy, we have to give at least 300 microgram of NTD as a prophylaxis. In threatened miscarriage, once there is a threat, we have to treat this patient as a threatened miscarriage, because we all know that when there is a threat, there is significant amount of fetal-maternal hemorrhage. Usually 1.5 to 2% are susceptible with hemorrhage. So we have to provide with 120 microgram according to the Canadian Society, and 50 to 120 as American Society. In India, 150. Amniocentesis, usually we are doing amniocentesis every monthly, 3-4 different, because we have got research center and we have got collaboration with very good genetic lab in Ahmedabad and Surat. So we are getting very good result in cases of genetic disorder of the fetus. So whenever you are doing amniocentesis, 2 to 6% rate of fetal-maternal hemorrhage is usually there. Usually we are doing with single prick, very small needle, even though prophylaxis should be given as a 300, because usually amniocentesis we are doing at 16 to 18 week of gestation, because 15 days usually they are taking for any karyotype of any NGS sequence. So if baby is not normal, we have got all the chances to terminate the pregnancy in a speculated criteria designed by government. But now we are safe because government had increased the MTP criteria. Chorionic sampling, 14% risk of fetal-maternal hemorrhage, because this we are doing directly from the placenta, and we are just crushing the placenta, and we are taking the at least good amount, 3 to 4 to up to sometimes 5 gram of chorionic villus content. So we have to provide 300 microgram of NTD prophylaxis. Chordosynthesis, because we are directly doing insertion into the cord. So again, there is 300 microgram should be given in sensitizing event of chorionic venous sampling and chordosynthesis. Antepartum hemorrhage, additional trauma, or external cephalic version of the cases of placenta previa. I will just one note of caution that in all cases of placenta previa, I will advise 1 dose at 7 months of NTD, irrespective of the status of baby. And second, at the time of delivery, if baby is positive, we have to give second dose. So many questions are there. If we give at 7 months and baby comes negative, there is wastage of 1 dose. But believe me, baby is positive and we had given, and there are all the chances in placenta previa. We know that mother has got some leak, and that leak going into the circulation, the sensitizing event will start. So you can prevent that sensitizing event, and recommended dose is 300 milligram in Canada and in range of 120 milligram NTD prophylaxis. So there are some guidelines and recommendation. What is the recommendation by American College of Obstetrics and Gynecology? The following recommendations are based on good and consistent scientific evidence, that is level A. Whenever we say level A evidence, so it is a very based on good and consistent scientific evidence. Unsensitized Rh negative woman should be offered prophylaxis NTD immune within 72 hours of delivery if fetus is confirmed Rh positive. This is level 1. So it is confirmed that any mother who deliver positive child, mother is negative and father is positive, must receive a NTD prophylaxis. The following recommendations are based on good and consistent evidence level B. Rh immunoglobulins recommended in all invasive diagnostic procedures like chorionic venous sampling, amniocentesis, chordosynthesis, fetal reduction. Everywhere we have to provide this Rh NTD prophylaxis. The following recommendations are based on good and consistent scientific evidence. NTD immunoglobulin prophylaxis should be considered if Rh negative version who experience threatened abortion, and for that we sometimes threatened becomes missed. You have to go for uterine evacuation, any antenatal bleeding, external cephalic version, abdominal trauma, pregnancy terminated either by medical or surgical, ectopic pregnancy, accidental hemorrhage after 20 weeks of gestation, and suspected molar pregnancy. This is indication curettage, spontaneous abortion, dose is no NTD before 12 weeks of gestation, but I will recommend the spontaneous miscarriage also should get some amount of prophylaxis. In India, we have got 150. So this spontaneous miscarriage was positive in uterus, and because of it gets expulsion, there are all the chances of fetal-maternal hemorrhage, either maybe less than 0.5 to 0.1 or 0.04, we have to give prophylaxis. Pregnancy termination, ectopic, CVS, amniocentesis, ectopic pregnancy, threatened miscarriage. If there is less than 12 weeks, we have to give 150. More than 12 weeks, we have to give 300. What our own society, ICOG recommendation for good clinical practice, and it is published in ICOG textbook. This is aimed to prevent sensitization during and after pregnancy. All MTP should have knowledge of documentation of blood group. So humble request that on first visit, always do RH typing of every pregnant lady, irrespective of their pregnancy status. If she is primary, we have to do must. If it is second and she doesn't know blood group, it is advised to do blood group or search in old file. There is always gynecologist has done the blood group testing. After sensitization event, dose 150 and pregnancy postpartum 300. Royal College test for the size of fetal-maternal hemorrhage. They are usually doing Cain-Hoover-Betke test. Within first 12 hours of delivery, identify the Rh negative woman with a large amount of fetal hemorrhage who require NTD. That is a level D. Evidence level 3 or 4. Export evidence from studies S2+. Administration NTD should be given within 72 hours after the sensitizing event. Prophylaxis in miscarriage 50 to 150. Prophylaxis before delivery, that is 50. And postnatal prophylaxis 100 microgram NTD within 72 hours of delivery. The Society of SOGS, Canadian Society, they also know that NTD should be given as a level A evidence. Up to 28 delivery, fetal-maternal hemorrhage, NTD should be given 120 to 300 microgram after spooled blood test. Sorry, just time already it is shut down. Sorry for this inconvenience. If you see the Canadian Society, they are recommending all this NTD prophylaxis in any fetal invasive procedure like amniocentesis 300, coronary venous sampling 100 to 300, chordocentesis 300. Additional NTD should be given if you know that more than 5 ml of blood, you have known that it is already leaked. British Council has also recommended the same level, grade 1C, grade 2C, all this less than 12 weeks, 50 microgram. Barabar. For sensitizing in 12 to 20 weeks, 50 microgram. Appropriate fetal-maternal hemorrhage should be carried out in all administered. The baby is positive, we have to give within the 72 hours of. In IUD events, when we are not able to get the blood sample enough, but even though baby is delivered, sometimes we are taking blood from fetal liver for this blood group, and it is very easy, just push from the fetal liver, or you can take blood from the heart also for blood group estimation. Only few drops of blood is required to know the status of blood group of this baby. But if you don't know the status of blood group of a baby, you can deliver this, you can give NTD prophylaxis to all this woman who carries positive baby inside the uterus. This is the RANZOC, Royal Society of Australian. They are also recommending RH NTD women should offer NTD in following clinical situation. First trimester 50, any evidence of threatened miscarriage. Second trimester based on dose 125. All women who deliver RA positive baby should have quantification of fetal-maternal hemorrhage, either by Cain-Hoover-Betke test or Rossetti test, and appropriate dose of prophylaxis should be given within 72 hours. They are more specific. They have got very small population, so they do according to the fetal-maternal hemorrhage. But ideally, we should give 150 below 12 weeks and 300 after 12 weeks of gestation, and it should be given deep intramuscular along with woman high BMI that will be most easily achieving using the deltoid muscle. Now, some question regarding the polyclonal, monoclonal, and recombinant, because all these three varieties of NTDs is available in market. Conventionally, NTD produced via the fraction of IgG from pooled serum plasma of negative woman, negative men immunized with Rh positive cells. So here you can see here is the main contribution in Rh negative mother. The resultant IgG is polyclonal in nature and referred as polyclonal NTD. Polyclonal NTD derived from sera of immunized human, made up of mixture of antibody with affinity of a wide range of antigenic epitopes. Limitations is require large human donor, limited capacity of production. There is a theoretical risk of transmission of viral and pyrrhon disease, and there is a periodic shortage because we don't get that much of negative men who is sensitized with Rh positive cells. Most of these limitations were addressed by introduction of monoclonal It is mono NTD manufactured using by Hydribroma technique. So what we mean by this monoclonal? Monoclonal versus recombinant. Monoclonal means highly specific antibodies against single antigen epitopes produced by clone of single hybrid cell performed in laboratory by fusion. The commercial preparation available in some countries like India, we have got monoclonal also in India. It is very specific, consistent, uniform, safe from transmission of viruses and harmful proteins, but the limitations. Maintaining hybridoma in a stable culture is very difficult. Generation of monoclonal antibody is time consuming and it is a laborious process. Since the availability of growth supplements of Hydribroma, such as fetal bovine serum, is declining, the further limitation is possibility of increasing monoclonal antibody outputs. So if we compare monoclonal with polyclonal, monoclonal efficacy is greater, specificity is high, half-life is 23 days, here only 15 days, highly purified because it's coming from the single individual. It contains antibody and plasma proteins. Batch-to-batch variation, highly homogeneous. This is variable because we are taking from the so many different individuals. Risk of transmission, no viral disease. There is a theoretic risk of transmission, unlimited supply, and there's possibility of periodic little supply. How this polyclonal versus monoclonal with RH in recombinant. So here nowadays it is a stand for recombinant, and that is available in market. The natural successor of hybridoma derived antibodies are recombinant DNA derived from antibodies, considering the advantage of made technology used by antibody manufacturer. And now with this COVID, we all know this hybridoma technique, and this is how we are making the vaccine. Developed anti-D IgG antibody using recombinant DNA technology and gene for anti-D derived from hybridoma to manufacture monoclonal anti-D immunoglobulin. The antibody genes from this hybridoma were isolated and introduced in this Chinese hamster cell or ovarian cell, thus enabling the cell express recombinant RH NTD, and that is available in market. There is a recombinant NTD prevention for matopaternal hemorrhage. There is a randomized control trial. This is a clinical trial. This study was performed by Mayankar and group. RH negative women who did not receive NTD, antenatal antigen, who deliver RH positive babies and showed negative direct cum test at baseline. These are the our study population. So study objective, study was carried out to compare the efficacy and safety of R NTD, that is recombinant NTD, with conventional polyclonal NTD in preventing RH alloimmunization to investigate the immunogenicity in RH NTD. ICT was performed, that is indirect cum test was performed at 72 hours, 90 days, 180 days, and after NTD injection. Serum sample collected to determine antibody against R NTD at 90 days and 180 days using enzyme link, that is enzyme linked immunosorbent assay, that is ELISA. Subject with positive ICT cum test, result at 90 days and 180 days were compared between the groups by Fisher extract test. This is a test of our PSM book. So we know that how much this two group is comparative. Intervention subjects were randomized at 2:1 ratio of R NTD. Polyclonal group received 300 microgram, recombinant NTD or poly NTD within 72 hours of delivery. So primary output, end of efficacy points, safety outcome, and immunogenicity. This is a comparison between the polyclonal and our recombinant, that is the monoclonal NTD. What we found, efficacy data at 90 days, positive only 3, polyclonal 0. P-value, that is Fisher extract test. I usually say this is a PSM test, and usually we do everything in statistics when you are writing the paper. Negative 190, positive 61, and 0.55. So R NTD, that is recombinant NTD, poly NTD, polyclonal NTD, LTF, that is loss of follow-up, and NS is non-significant. So P-value for ICT results calculated by Fisher test by 90 and 180 days indicated that difference was not significant, not statistically significant, and thus confirmed similar efficacy between the recombinant and poly-NTD. Because here we have to see that our polyclonal NTD, which is there in market since years together, and now we are comparing with this monoclonal or recombinant, is not inferior, not superior, but non-inferior, and there is no significant change. So we can compare that this 143 and this 67 patients, fitness test, this test is non-significant. So we can say that this polyclonal is equivocal to our monoclonal RH NTD that is made in this market. So what is the safety data? We have to always consider when we are coming with any new drug, we have to compare with the adverse event. So in this recombinant NTD and polyclonal NTD, only one patient has got pyrexia and only one patient has adherent leukocyte count, while in polyclonal 2 patients has got pyrexia, 2 has got abdominal pain. So out of this is non-significant, less than 1% of population suffered that adverse event. None of this adverse event related to the drug study, because pyrexia can be because of delivery, pyrexia can be because of any infection, abdominal pain can be because of gravid uterus, and rearranged leukocyte count maybe because of typhoid or some another. So there is drugs during adverse event is non-significant. So incidence of immunogenicity developing RH antibodies, the immunogenicity test showed that none of this sample were positive for RH anti-RD antibody, confirmed that R NTD is safe and no immunogenic. So if we compare recombinant NTD with polyclonal NTD available in market, both are equivocal, and it is little bit safe because there is no disadvantage of polyclonal NTD available in market. So what is recombinant NTD? It obviates the need of fetal bovine serum. It's obtained from the serum-free medium, which requires the concern of transmission of infectious diseases very low. This is very advantage of recombinant DNA technology. It avoids the problem of cell line changes and mutation as observed in hybridoma production and storage. It provides better yield. So any amount of NTD if you want to produce in laboratory, we can. Our NTD may be suitable alternative to existing NTD preparation in market for preventing maternal alloimmunization, especially as a supply of human source polyclonal D, which is expected to diminish, and human subjects are now not wanted. So how we are manufacturing the recombinant human donor hyperstimulized with NTD, then it is gone in myelin cell culture. NTD producing lymphocytes, they got fused with myelin cell. This be from hybridoma that producing the monoclonal NTD. We are putting in a cell culture and purified human monoclonal rock clone available in market. Nowadays, it is also marketed with NTD only. Gene isolated from NTD producing the hybridoma cell, insert in gene in vector, transfer CHO cell, grow CHO cell in bioreactor in serum-free medium, purify NTD from CHO cell, that is Chinese hamster ovarian cell, and harvest, and we can get the recombinant NTD available in market. So in conclusion, RH isoimmunization is real problem and real efforts to be need to mitigate the impact. Although the incidence has decreased dramatically because of awareness in resident, in nursing staff, in MBBS doctor, by this different webinar and company CME, yet the consequence of hemolytic disease of newborns remain in the market. So every woman who is childbearing should have ABO blood group. It is my humble request that always do BGRH at first contact when she becomes pregnant. Even today, a large number of women should be protected against RH immunization and not receiving NTD. So always give NTD, the father is positive, mother is negative, and baby is positive. Remember that this negative, positive sequence should require NTD prophylaxis. Despite postpartum NTD proimmunoglobulin prophylaxis, there is risk of isoimmunization in negative women due to sensitizing events. In first pregnancy, there is sensitization event. In second pregnancy, becomes immunized. The use of NTD immunoglobulin prophylaxis in sensitizing event has reduced the risk of isoimmunization further. The recommended dose of NTD immunoglobulin prophylaxis for sensitizing event depends upon the trimester and the events. Remember, before 12 week, 150, after 12 week, 300 in Indian subcontinent. So at the end, everybody should be happy. And I should give this notion with this Swami Nichitya. And the place to be happy is here. And the way to be happy is to make someone happy and have a little heaven right here. So no baby should become. To be happy is now. And the place to be happy is here. And the way to be happy is to make someone happy and have a little heaven right. Yeah. Thank you very much. So no woman should get isoimmunization and no baby die in utero because of this sensitization event in second pregnancy. So prevent all these women with RH NTD prophylaxis. Thank you very much. Now I'm just stop sharing my screen.
Thank you, sir. Not a single doubt. That was a very nice and informative session, as usual, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you for your valuable time, sir. And sir, only one question is there. Can we use in a prophylactic NTD, and what is the dosage?
So there is a very good question, Nishant. I had already mentioned in my presentation that when you are suspecting a lady with high risk suspect in placenta previa, twin pregnancy, or there is a chance of fetal-maternal leak at any given chance, mother is negative, father is positive, you are not knowing the status of fetal blood group, prophylactically, you can give NTD at 7 months, that is 28 to 30 weeks, and you can repeat the second dose if baby comes positive. So many times people say that there is a wastage of one dose, but if there is a sensitizing events occur during that pregnancy, we can prevent that sensitization and isoimmunization. If patient is affording, you have to counsel the patient that you should take 2 doses of RH NTD, because there are high chances that if fetal-maternal leaks occur more than 5 ml, the sensitization event starts, and in second pregnancy, baby has to suffer. Second most important thing, Nishan, somebody had asked me, we can use as a prophylaxis in any woman if she is not pregnant, or we can use as a vaccine. No, it should not use as a vaccine. This is not a vaccine. It is made just like vaccine because antigen antibody reactions are there. This RH NTD immunoglobulin will only mask the positive cell which is circulating in a mother. If there is no positive cell circulating in mother, you are wasting your NTD injections, and it will cover only 5 to 40 ml of blood which is circulating in mother. And if you're expecting more, you can double the dose of NTD prophylaxis in a lady. So it should not be used as a vaccine. You cannot give to the all RH negative women who are probably become pregnant with RH positive men. Always do the status of baby which is born after delivery. If baby is positive, you have to give. If you are not knowing the status, you want to prevent the prophylaxis, you can give at 28 week and you can give another at the time of delivery. But any insult during first trimester, you have to give 150 either in ectopic, miscarriage, threatened miscarriage, recurrent miscarriage, any procedure like amniocentesis, CVS, chordosynthesis, you have to prevent. Even in osteitis, you have to give as a prophylaxis 150 microgram that is available in market. And any event after 12 weeks in second trimester, usually give the dose of 300.
Thank you, sir. Sir, we sure that it will be very useful and very helpful those who are attendees and those who are upcoming doctor, and it will also use in a day-to-day practice. So sir, lots of thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you very much. And now I'm just leaving the meeting. Any questions is welcome from any of the participants, but I don't see any question in the chat box. So thank you, Nishant. Thank you, Digital Infomedia. And thank you, Bharat Serum, for giving me opportunity to share my views on this RH isoimmunization sensitizing events. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Good night.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Stay safe.
Thank you, sir.